First, let me introduce a famous man in American history. His name is George Washington. George Washington was an American politician and soldier who served as the first president of the United States from 1789 to 1797 and was one of the founding fathers of the United States. George Washington was the first child of Augustine Washington and his second wife Mary Ball Washington, born on their Pope's Creek estate near present-day Colonial Beach in Westmoreland County, Virginia. He was born on February 11, 1732, according to the Julian calendar and Annunciation style of enumerating years then in use in the British Empire. Augustine was a tobacco planter who also tried his hand in iron mining ventures. In George's youth, the Washingtons were moderately prosperous members of the Virginia gentry, of middling rank, rather than one of the leading planter families. Washington's father was the justice of the Westmoreland County Court. George spent much of his boyhood at Ferry Farm in Stafford County near Fredericksburg. His father died while he was 11, and he began his career as a professional surveyor in 1749 at the age of 17. In 1753, he was sent as an ambassador from the British Crown to the French officials and Indians as far north as present-day Erie, Pennsylvania. In 1755, Washington became the senior American aide to British General Edward Braddock on the ill-fated Braddock Expedition. Lt. Governor Dinwiddie rewarded Washington in 1755 with a commission as Colonel of the Virginia Regiment and Commander-in-Chief of all forces now raised in the defense of His Majesty's colony, and gave him the task of defending Virginia's frontier. On January 6, 1759, Washington married wealthy widow Martha Dandridge Custis, then 28 years old. Surviving letters suggest that he may have been in love at the time with Sally Fairfax, the wife of a friend. Nevertheless, George and Martha made a compatible marriage because Martha was intelligent, gracious, and experienced in managing a planter's estate. Washington was a successful planter of tobacco and wheat, and also a leader in the social elite in Virginia. In 1769, he became more politically active, presenting the Virginia Assembly with legislation to ban the importation of goods from Great Britain. On the night of December 25, 1776, he led his army across the Delaware River. The next morning, the troops launched a surprise attack on a Hessian outpost in Trenton, New Jersey, capturing nearly 1,000 prisoners. Washington followed up his victory at Trenton with another over British regulars at Princeton on January 3. The British retreated to New York City and its environs, which they held until the Peace Treaty of 1783. The Electoral College unanimously elected Washington as the first president in 1789 and again in 1792. He remains the only president to receive the totality of electoral votes. Washington was inaugurated on April 30, 1789, taking the first presidential oath of office on the balcony of Federal Hall in New York City. Washington died at home around 10 p.m. on Saturday, December 14, 1799, aged 67. In his journal, Lee recorded Washington's last words as, "'Tis well.